Yeah, the biggest problem is in hiring the unconscious, bias. If you see the gaps nowadays, like foreign names or maybe small times, like till- it's all like they're skipping resumes now. The great candidates are losing, you know, out due with just a simple judgment.
This podcast is brought to you by Manatal, the all-in-one AI recruitment software trusted by over 150,000 recruiters in 140 countries. Whether you're managing a staffing agency or an in-house recruitment team, Manatal combines a powerful applicant tracking system and a recruitment CRM to help recruiters source candidates faster and more effectively. Manatal's AI-powered platform streamlines hiring with a complete software suite tailored for recruiting teams of all sizes, featuring thousands of job board integrations, a talent pool of 700 million candidates, smart resume parsing, automated AI candidate matching, powerful recruiting analytics, and much more. Elevate your recruitment and never miss top talent. Visit manatal.com to start your free trial today. Welcome to the All In Recruitment podcast by Manatal, where we explore best practices, learnings, and trends with leaders in the recruitment space. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channels on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify to stay tuned for our episodes. I'm your host, Lydia. Joining us today is Ranjith Ravula, founder and CEO of Raks Group. Thanks for joining us, Ranjith, all the way from the US.
Thank you, Lydia. Thanks for having me, and it's a pleasure being, in your podcast. Yeah.
So, walk us through your transition. I understand you're an accountant before turning into an entrepreneur. So, what was that transition like, and what were the scariest parts of leaving that say traditional employment?
Yeah, sure, Lydia. So, I mean, this is personal for me. I didn't actually leave the high paid or corporate job or anything.
Mm.
I worked as an accountant in India. And after coming to US, I wasn't, dependent. I couldn't work for 8 years. So
Mm.
even I had a degree in, in commerce and with experience in accounting. After this long gap, then I wanted to go back and, start my career again in accounting.
Yeah.
So with this gap, I tried applying jobs online, but I don't know what to fill in that gap. So people, I didn't get like any responses or anything.
Mm.
But I found a job on Craigslist that they were looking for a replacement for temporarily because the existing employee, going for a maternity leave.
Mhm.
So I applied it and then they interviewed me. But before that, there was another one also interviewed. They actually selected her also.
Mm.
So, they spoke to me and they liked me because even though I didn't have the real time immediately, I had a gap. They said they still have another position, but that's not the the accounting job,
Mhm.
which I was looking for. So it's an admin role type.
Mhm.
But I, I thought, I don't know like what to do, but I really wanted to do accounting, but I had this big gap. So I know what I said yes, even though it was like $12 per hour. I
Mm.
was not looking for like start my career again, on something like that, but I wanted to find myself again starting, kicking off my career.
Mm.
So that's how I started. But again, I started a limo business. I drove for a couple of 1 year something. Again, I got laid off. I found another accounting job. And because of that company sold out, then again I got laid off. So
Mm.
it was like around like 1.5, 2 years. This is all happened. I went back again. I only had like this 1.5 year experience in US, but I still had that gap. So I was keep applying and applying, the no reply. I didn't know. I felt like lost again.
Mm.
So whether what is wrong with me? Maybe it could be my language, but maybe I'm not a cultural fit for them. So I was thinking, but I felt like it was not me only, right? There were many people like
Right.
me, like thousands of people are like me too, maybe struggling. So I had little experience working in a staffing company as an accountant, and I got to know a little bit about this recruiting. But it's not actually I didn't want to start recruiting. I just wanted to see how if I had one
Mm.
help, helping to guide me because this market is new and I had a big gap. I'm not into IT also. So finding an accounting job in US, and I didn't have any helping hand, somebody who can guide me to fill the gaps and help me to find a job. So this made me think, what would I, if somebody like me, there might be many people out there.
That's right.
So why can't I start something like similar? Maybe I can guide them and I can fill those gaps and
Mm.
help them how the system works here. So, and prepare them to get ready for the market.
So
That's
that
how, yeah. So that's how it started.
I
So
know.
that's about, moving from accounting to recruiting.
And this is how you started the group in 2016, right?
Yes.
So you also mentioned, in using your words here, Raks Group wasn't built to be flashy; it was built to be effective. So, do you have any example you can share on how this philosophy actually shows up
Yes.
when you
See,
work with your
after
clients?
this one, right? So I wanted to do something, but I didn't have any plans. I don't
Mm.
have any roadmap. All I wanted to just to start and helping these people, right? So I figured out myself, and I found out people who are looking for opportunities after this big gap. So I try to help them. I was I mean, even though I was not technically a recruiter,
Mm.
I took a help of recruiter, and the back end I know mostly all the operations, and because most of my circle is in IT. Even my wife works in IT, and most of my friends are in IT too. So with those people help, I was able to figure it out
Mm.
how the market works, how to prepare the resumes, mentoring them and helping them to guide and get them an interviews. That was my main goal.
Mm.
So there was no plan. There's no flashy things are there. So this is built from my pain. So that's how the rack started, and
Mm.
in December 2016.
And you started alone, right? And how big is the team now?
See, I didn't start alone. I have a very best friends in US. They are into IT.
Mm.
So when I was thinking like that, they said, okay, w- we know you, you can do it. So why don't you start staffing?
What
I
was
mean, I
the
didn't tell them when I registered, but when I say the Rags, right? It looks different name. People ask me what is Rags for, right? This is my friend's first initial names, so
Mm.
that they helped me to start. All I need is was support, right? When I started, applying for a job, I didn't have that support, who's going to guide me. The same thing I expected from my friends. They guided me initial stages,
Mm.
and that's why it made me, I built my confidence, and I started this. They were there with me initially, but now I'm building my own. To answer your questions, I have 20 plus people in India offshore, and I
Mm.
have 5 people in our office, and I have 30 plus people consultants working in who are in the United States in the
Mm.
client spaces.
That's quite a
Yeah,
big growth, huh, in 10 years, and
yeah. I mean,
especially off
see,
the back of your hard
and
work.
also see, not everybody is currently working with me, but if I count it, I would have helped more than 250 plus people, just guiding them and giving them advice and mentoring them.
Mm.
Now they are doing somewhere else, but I feel like, I feel pleasure. I feel satisfied, like, helping those people and giving them career to go to next.
So you also mentioned you work with companies, and I quote, when the stakes are high and the margin for error is low. So, maybe walk us through a high pressure hire that really tested your abilities here. What was at stake?
Yeah. So initially, I started helping candidates. Then people were reaching me, the graduates, and again, somebody is looking for opportunities. So I started helping all these, then, and also clients also started reaching me.
Hmm.
So when I was working, there was a client. I'm sorry, it's actually a staffing, prime vendor
Yeah.
type, you can call it. So they had a requirement with the state of Ohio. So they need a immediate start. So I was able to find a US citizen, and she was very well fit, and she was
Hmm.
local, ready to start. But the trust, the problem, what happened is she has to be on my payroll. So I'll be her
Hmm.
EOR, but even though she's working at the client. But the problem I seen is because Raks Group was very new,
Hmm.
and obviously my voice is from somebody from other country, right? So the, the problem was the client wants her to start, and the candidate is hesitating to send her details, like for preparing I-9 or E-Verify and other things. So we were kind of stuck there.
Hmm.
So we actually, because it was not on online presence also, we didn't have a visibility. So I don't blame her, because of sharing the security, this, SS and all those
Hmm.
things. It's very important, you need to have that trust and credibility. So I had to
Yeah.
take my time to call her and understand the process, build that trust, and I was able to convince her, and even made promises to pay her before we received the payments.
Hmm.
It was tough, but I made it worked. And I told client, just let me do it, let me deliver it, on time. So I mean, she was very happy, and she was there for 6 months, and client were happy, and I was happy. I paid her, and kept my promises, and clients, they were keep coming for another
Yeah.
positions. So that was the one, initial, stake I can talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. And now you have expanded into software products, right? So,
Yeah.
what drove you to move beyond services into product development?
I told you, right, the personal brand, and that was
Yeah.
missing from the beginning. So nobody knew, and people were like, candidates were asking, what is Raks Group, right? Do you have, do you work with the direct lines? Or
Yeah.
do you pay on time? So these questions made me to think about it. I think not many people know about me or more about the Raks Group. So I need to build that trust so that people can easily share their details, and I can pay them, I can, increase client and candidate base. That's where I started myself and doing it everything my own. Then I found, okay, this is everybody needs it. Was starting early. It takes time to, build this kind of brand. So that's why this was my own problem initially.
Yeah.
I thought, why can't I help? Because I've seen I did myself. I was posting every day on my LinkedIn company page, something educating about the candidate and educating about the, to the client. And in my personal LinkedIn, I was talking about my journey, my failures, my, wins.
Yeah.
And that made, you know, people think, I'm not introducing myself. Before I introduce myself, they already knew who I am.
Yeah.
So that this is going to be a second attempt, like second touch point. So it made me easy to do work with them, to build a trust, and that way. So that's why I started Social Mate. It's helping me. Now I'm trying to help the founders who are starting it. And I have a couple of more chat M8, which is also similar way, because I'm not available 24/7. So I want somebody who reaches me, they get the right answers,
Yeah.
even being, there, so I can direct them right place.
Yeah.
And there was another one, the big one is the role AI.
Roy, okay.
This also is my own problem. So an example, like if you're a staffing or recruiting, your recruiters, maybe you can call it as a technical recruiter, but how far they can deeply dive into a specific skill and ask the real questions to the candidate.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want to send the perfect resume to the candidate, sorry, the client.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste the client, interviewing three people again saying that they are not fit. So to solve that specific problem, I'm building the role AI, which actually helps the non-technical guy going to very deep and asking right question about
Mm.
the technology, what client is specifically looking for, and the AI can help you to identify out of that five, resumes, and gives you a top two, which client can just directly hire or just go with simple short interview and hire them. So that problem I'm trying to solve it. So this is all like my pain. So I'm trying to first solve my problem and help others.
Are they all live already?
No, Roar AI is not live. We
No.
are almost finishing the first phase, but there's a long way to go. And as AI is going
Evolving
very crazy
very
now,
fast. Yes.
so there may be a lot of things on the go. We have to add it, but yeah, it's just started Roar AI, but the remaining two are ready.
So, Rachel, you work with several clients already, and you've seen a lot of success from your efforts in there and also developing these products. So, in terms of consultation to these clients, what might be one piece of hiring advice that you give to founders that they at first they resist, but then later they end up thanking you for?
Yeah, sure. See, what I've seen is now is hiring is about the relationship. Okay, it's not about just checklist and resumes. So
Mm.
founders want the speed, and they don't just they want it to fit and the speed. So they don't. Not everybody looks about the culture and whether this person is a fit for the team, or well, how well this person, this candidate can work with the company. It's not about time and just a resume. So
No.
the style, the team, and dynamics, you have to look into it. So most haven't thought about these things. So after a couple of bad hires, they realize, okay, I get it now. I need these kind of only people. So they don't want to do these things. So that I feel like this is what the founders has to do it initial stages, not after bad hires. So this
No.
is what I.
Now, if you could solve one big problem, big persistent problem in hiring that no one has managed to solve yet, what would it be?
Yeah, the biggest problem is in hiring the unconscious bias.
Mm.
If you see the gaps nowadays, like foreign names or maybe small times, like till- it's all like they're skipping resumes now. The great
Mm.
candidates are losing you know out due with just a simple judgment, with the gaps, or maybe like the recruiter may be busy and maybe hiring manager are stressed out. So if they try to you know understand and build the relationship with the candidates, and you are really really going to get uh, the big or very good talent. So these people are the missing opportunities. You,
Mm.
not only you, and the candidates also not getting that opportunity. So this is why I'm the drawer AI I'm
Yeah.
talking about. This is going to help to identify and fill that gap, the skills and potentials, with these gaps and the name signs. So
Mm.
that's a problem, the biggest now, I would feel. So that we have to fill that gap. Yeah,
And finally, Ranjit, what advice would you give someone who is starting a career in the talent space today?
yeah. I mean, it's not about back in like 2016 or
Mm.
2023. I would see last 2 to 3 years, it's totally changed. It's
Change.
not now with the AI and all those tools and sourcing talks. Everybody's talking about AI. So what I think is that you have to be first coachable. You have to
Mm.
unlearn the outdated ideas which we were doing in 2016 and 2023 even. If I do the same thing, I won't survive in the same market. And the consistency is matters most. So, and also focus on most onto sales and client acquisition and understand the human behavior. So if you are like something doing like, a personal touch and relationship that no AI or any text tool can replace you, right? And the build personal branding and be authentic and share your learning journeys. Have at least 12 months of financial plan to start.
Yeah. Very sound advice. Thank you so much for your time and these insights, Ranjit. I'm sure whoever's listening in might want to find out a little bit more about what you're developing right now or what are some plans that you have in place. So, for those who are looking, where can they find you?
Of course, LinkedIn is my best place. I that's my whole day I spend there. But you can Google me. I build a personal brand. So even you Google my name, you get all my details. Along with that, yes, you feel free to send me any messages if something what I talked today is resonates you. If you're a candidate, founder, and you're starting out, you don't know where you are, where you wanted to go. So just I'm one message away. I can personally message and happy to help.
Well, thank you again, Ranjit. And we have been in conversation with Ranjit Ravula, founder and CEO of Raks Group.
Thank you for joining us and stay tuned for more episodes from All In Recruitment on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can find all episodes or learn more about the show at manatal.com. See you in the next episode.